All right, so after you get your, I don't know, what do you want to call that piece? Shift drum little pawl things. That's how it comes out, the little pieces. They like to fall off and go right into the sump. So have your little magnet ready. So anyways, this is the little thing that gets loose right here. So this is how loose it was when we just
Opened it up.
yeah. So it's not tight at all. Try to get my fingers out of the way. Yeah, so you can see how loose it is.
Yeah.
So we'll take it out, put some red Loctite on it, and yeah, start the assembly process. All right. So when you're taking this off to get to see if that bolt's loose back there, don't pull this whole thing out. You got to take it out real slow. There's a little pawls in there that'll pop out. So if you pull it off slow, you can get this thing just over that, like that. Then you can push that thing back in. This washer is going to keep falling off. It goes there.
That washer.
Yeah, this little washer on this will come off too. Okay. So now we got to take and move this, I think, too, right? So, see these little paws have got the little springs in there. So if you pinch them and hold them tight, you can pull it out and turn it one, and it should sit back in there. Like that. And you'll know that that's right because once you put this shaft back in, these little two things on the spring fit in between that, and then this goes onto that little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, now we got to get the plate back on. So not going to be able to film that because it takes two of us to do it. All right, so when this thing comes out, line that up, tilt it, it'll come right out. You see it all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so that just comes right out like that. Then we'll put the springs and the paws in the back. Got these little holes back there. A little spring and a little keeper, whatever they call it. Who knows? So those go. I can get that in there. Got so much oil on my hands. Jiminy Christmas. Oh gosh. Yeah, this is going to be hard. Might try it without the plate on it one more time.
And because now you know you can fit the plate on after
Right.
the fact. Yeah.
First timer. That goes in there. You got a little notch on there. Put it like that. So when you put it in, you got to squeeze these things, and it goes flying like that. All right, take two. All right, so we got that in there. You get that about the right angle, get it slid right in there, like so. All right, did that? I think, yeah,
That actually might be the right.
that might be the right one. Okay,
plate.
so next, and then you can get this bottom part on there. Then once you get it the right spot, or out, I should say, pulled out far enough, this will slip on over that. I think we got to go just a tiny bit more. There's a fine, there it goes.
Got it?
Yep.
Push it back in.
And we get this washer back on this. Yeah, this washer will keep falling off on you.
Got it?
Okay, got it. Then you just push that back up on there. Now we're going to see if it goes better or not. So this is the problem we're having. We don't know the trick to get this plate lined up onto this pin up here. It goes over the pin, but it doesn't want to push over the pin. The bottom one does, but not the top one. So that's where we're at now. So we'll stop the video and we'll figure it out and let you know. Okay. All right, so we got our assembly back in there. And so the problem we're having on the back here, I'm sorry I didn't video it, but the part we're working on last, the actual pin that came loose to begin with is holding on that sprocket, or not sprocket, but the whatever, shift drum cam or whatever the hell it's called. But there's a little pin behind that, and then there's a little notch on the back side of that, the whatever we call it. So that pin has to be in there. So that thing was kind of cockeyed just a tiny bit. And that's what was causing this plate here not to be able to sit flush on there. So once we cleared that up, everything was good. Now, putting this clutch assembly back on, it's this is the outer clutch. So this goes on it here, but the back one comes off also. So you need to pull that off and put that part on first before you slide this into it. Because what happens, you see all these, the back side of the clutch plates has these grooves. Well, even on the back side, it has all these teeth have to fit and mesh in between all those plates. So you got to get everything lined up to be able to put them on, and that back one's a bit of a pain in the butt. But yeah, we got it on though, and life is good. So on this part, we went ahead and put some little paint marks on it. I don't think it really matters, but just for and you got little O-rings on there, so it's a tight fit going back on. Just gonna keep working it. It'll eventually pop itself in there. You got the little grooves in the front part here. You got to match up as you're doing it. There it goes. And that's that. Now we got all those little grooves. Take a little screwdriver and try to line them up best you can. This outer one's a lot easier because you can just sit there and move this thing. The back one's a little bit harder. So you got your washer in here, your thrust washer. Goes against that. And get it started on the first. Easier said than done, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, it takes a little. And sometimes you pull it back out and readjust those things. Though they move really easy and they go up and down too, so it's not hard to get it off. Pull it off and try it the other way. It's closer, but points to move up a little bit. Got the first one.
Also, you have to get past those O-rings too, and
Go.
yeah,
Two.
that's what you did on the last one. You kind of just kept twisting it until they all fell into place.
It's getting harder.
Oh, there you go.
Is that all, or is there one more? Find out. I might have went all the way in. 3 rows, right? I think that's it. So they ain't at all. Let's see. Okay, so there was one more to go into. So basically this right here will be flush with the splines here when it's all the way in. So I just took the little screwdriver and just kind of moved it back and forth, and it dropped right in. So that's all the hard part. So next we'll just clean up the covers and get our sealant on there, and yeah, we'll get this thing back together. I don't think I put that in the video earlier, but before you pull this clutch assembly out, these are scissor gears here on this thing, which means it's spring loaded, so this thing turns like that. But before you take it off, you want to take I think it's a 6 by 1 millimeter pitch screw, and you want to thread it in there and tighten it down before you take the clutch out. Otherwise, it's a lot harder to get it past those splines. So,
How's it going?
it's going good, eh?
Got it together.
So here's the screw. You just want to have that little one in there. Don't get a long one because it'll go all the way back and hit the case when you crank it down. So just a small one. That's like I said, it's a 6 by 1. So anyways, make sure you do that. All right, guys, we're done with the DCT. Everything is working well. When we first started it up, it was showing it was like in 2nd gear, so we had to cycle the ignition a couple times, go through the thing. Then we ended up having to like move it backwards and forwards a little bit, and then it went into neutral. And yeah, we didn't have to do any of the clutch relearn stuff or the reset thing. But yeah, everything just works fine. So that's that.